When I decided to go to college, I actually chose the college I went to because they have a creative writing major, and not too many colleges did at the time. So I always knew I wanted to write. I always knew I wanted to write. Now that's only partially true. John Naper did live in Ashtabula. Ruth Murray and her family lived in Ashtabula. But actually, Joe Naper lived in New York. And the reason I know that is because there is a ship's enrollment record. They would keep records of when the ship was built. So I know when the telegraph was built, I know how long it was, I know how wide it was, I know how heavy it was, I know it had 2 masts, and I know the owners. And actually it was Joe and John and a third man named Reuben. But it says that John was from Ashtabula, Ohio, and Joe was from Dunkirk, New York. So then when we looked through all the other people that were on the ship, a lot of them were friends and neighbors from New York, and then another group of friends and neighbors from Ohio. So probably what happened was Joe loaded up his ship, and went down Ohio, picked up the guys there, and then they went all the way across this Great Lake, Lake Erie. There's 5 Great Lakes, and they went through 3 of them. They went through Lake Erie, up here to Lake Huron, all the way around Michigan, and then all the way down Lake Michigan to get to Fort Dearborn. On the internet, you guys do research on the internet, right? Yeah, I did a lot of research on the internet. And it's really neat because there are some books that are very, very old, and there might only be 2 of them left in the whole world. And so, because I'm studying Ohio, because that's where the neighbors came from, this book is only in Ohio. But I don't have time to get in my car, drive to Ohio, read the book, drive back. I mean, I've got a family, I've got things to do. But somebody decided it would be a really good idea if they scanned every page on a scanner and then put it on a computer. So I can sit in my office, get on my computer, and I can read every page just like it was right there in front of me. So I can read these books that nobody has seen in Illinois for a long time because they didn't even know they were in Ohio. I hired somebody called an editor whose job it is, like your teacher, to go with a red pencil and mark all the places that need to be corrected. She checked my spelling, and she checked my sentence structure, and she would say things like, in this part here, how do we know what Amos is thinking? And I'd have to go back and think, you're right. If the story is in Ruth's voice, not Amos's voice, we can't see inside Amos's head. So the only way to find out what Amos is thinking is for him to tell Ruth so she could tell the readers. You can write nonfiction books. You can write school books. Somebody has to write those things, right? So that's a thing you could do if you were a writer. This is a manual on how to fix a car. But somebody has to write that. Somebody has to write how to fix your car and put it in a book. You can also write newspapers and magazines. There's articles you can write for them. This is a website. You can write things for websites. You can write advertisements. Somebody has to write all those things too. And then, of course, somebody needs to write scripts for TV or movie or plays. And then somebody also writes speeches and jokes. When you see a comedian, somebody's writing the jokes for that comedian. So there's a lot of different things that writers can write.